Hi and welcome to the stream. So, this is Commander Swifty and Coconut Airways, and I'm basically here today to try and give you the rundown on a route that I came across, which I think nets really good profits for anybody who is below elite level but has a pretty decent ship. So I'm just going to quickly show you my ship and setup. I've got an Anaconda, but I actually started, I don't think it's in this station. No, these are all crap ones. I think I started with a Dolphin, then Beluga, and then onto the Anaconda. So this is doable. So I'm just going to go with the core internal. The core internals and option internals. Well, actually, no, I can do it. See my hard points. Not really got much on there. Probably need to change them out actually for something more preferable. But there you go. Nothing on my utility mounts. Core internal. The alloys are not so important, but they do protect you a little bit. 4A power plant, 5A thrusters, 6A frame shift drive, probably not so important for what we're going to be doing today, but I might need it in the future. 5A power distributor, 8D sensors, 5 fuel tank. Again, not so important for what we're going to be doing today. Optional internals. This is the most important one. Economy class cabins. Now, I've got a grade 7 slot here, but I haven't actually looked to see if there's any grade 7 passenger cabins. I don't think there is at the moment. So I've slotted out my 7s and 6s. So each one of these holds 32 people. Now, because of the smaller ship, you're not going to be able to necessarily get that many. But believe me, this is a ladder process. At the moment, I'm earning 46.50 million per run, but I'll explain later that I'm nowhere near elite. Well, I'm close to elite, but I'm not elite yet, so I'm not getting elite prices. These are good prices. You are going to make money doing this run. So I've got 32, 32, 32, 32. So that's 90, 128 plus 16 plus 16 plus 16, and then I've got a shield generator because I bumped this baby all over the place. She doesn't get out alive. And a 4 cargo rack, which is really necessary. You need at least a 4 cargo rack. You don't need an 8. I'll explain to you at the end of the video why. And then another economy class for 8. And then I've got a docking computer because, as I said, I whack this thing all over the place. But if you don't want one, you can get a couple of extra passengers in there. I've also got a module reinforcement package in case I get attacked, which, touch wood, hasn't happened yet. Okay, so basically kit yourself out for passengers. If you're quite good at beating interdictions, you don't need to worry about protection for the ship, and maybe you can get some more passengers in there. But at the moment, systems panel. At the moment, I've got cabins. Oh, it doesn't give a full breakdown, but I can't remember. 30, 60, 90, 128, 138, 148, 58, 160 or something, I think. Around 160 spots. That's important. Close. So what you're going to do is you're going to come here, galaxy map, and you're going to come to LTT 2684. When you arrive here, you are going to go to Parsons Station. It's only 48 light seconds off the drop, well 49, but who's counting? So it's really close off the drop. Okay. And what you're going to do is you're going to come here and you're going to run passenger missions, because they are the way of making money at the moment and finding a good route. There's plenty of good routes out there, but this one just seems, I don't know, I've tried 2 or 3 and this one seems really good. So go to your Starport Services, passenger lounge, and this is kind of the grind at the moment, the best grind that's going on. Is 1 second, I just need to check one thing. Okay, yeah. So, you're going to come here and you're going to start looking at passenger missions. Now, as you can see, 1 second, I'm having an absolute nightmare with my computer today. I don't know what's wrong with it, but it doesn't seem to want to play fair. Okay, so when you get here, you're going to basically be going through these missions. Now, as you can see, I'm not aligned with anybody. Okay, now, wait, close. If I go to systems panel, if you look at my status, at the moment, I am a trade rank tycoon, but yesterday I wasn't. I've been pretty much, you know, really hammering it today. And that's got me up, I think, 2 ranks. You can see my Federation reputation is quite high. I am ranked Lieutenant. All these things apparently matter when it comes to the payout. But when I first started in the Dolphin, I was seeing good prices. So I wasn't making as much as 46 million per run, but I think I was making 26 in the beginning. It very quickly went up to 30, and then there'd be the odd run when I got close to 50 because the boards are really good to me and whatnot. I'll use the word boards plural. We'll talk about that, and I'll give you an excuse if it's one of those things you don't like doing. So close. So yeah, I'm going to go to the mission board. And so you can look down these missions. Wait, not the mission board, passenger lounge. And you can look down the list. And we're going to be looking specifically for people that are going to this place, Namarodo. Now, this person we're not going to pick up, even though it's a nice paycheck, because each of those people require shall we say, a part of the deck to themselves. So one person can take up 6 or 7 places, and that's just not what we're going to be wanting to fill up with. We're an economy class ship. I consider it economy ship. I'm the captain. Coconut Airways. We are an economy company. What we are looking for... Cheers, love. What we are looking for is this. 7 aid workers seeking transport to Namarodo. They should be wanting to go to... Do you know, I practiced this earlier and I got it right. Seva... Well, no, I'm going to say Seva because I'm thinking of it in Spanish, but Sevastanov Station. Okay. Now, it says here, hostile ships may be sent against you. That's definitely going to happen. That's... You're not going to get away from that. But you're going to take it. See all these spaces? So you take that one, 4 refugees, 1.2. Okay, these are not very good prices to be honest, but it's only a few refugees, so we're going to keep going. 5 refugees. I think we're getting more refugees because they're at war at the moment. We've got 11 refugees. This is probably why we're going to get 2 refugees. Okay. Pick cabin. Sorry. Oh, I'd accepted that. I had. Okay, I don't know what that was all about. And that's a singular person. Okay, so now the board's basically been picked clean of people wanting to go to Namaru. So, this is where the important part comes in. Is you're gonna have to board hop. And lots and lots of people say, oh, this is unethical, this is this, this is that. Look, I look at it this way. I'm the Commander Swifty, captain of Coconut Airways. What I say is, if you look at my time here, it says 3:35. Okay? I'm going to set myself a time to depart. So say 3:50. Okay? I'm like a bus. I'm sat here looking for passengers. That's all I'm doing. So until 3:50, I'm going to board hop. I don't see it as cheating because this game is all about building your own story, your own way. And I thought, well, how do you get around it if people say you shouldn't board hop? And I thought, well, you know what? I'll give myself a set time limit. If I fill it up, fantastic. If I don't fill it up, then I go with space is spare. And that's how basically the ethics that people say come into play for me. Okay, because I didn't want to sit there for hours and hours like waiting to fill it up. I do think that's a bit of a push. So this is the way I do it. This is the way I've been doing it for the last week or so. Luckily, so here we see 24 medical professionals. Okay, so they can get on board, you know. 20 medical professionals. Okay, now they're only paying 4 million and there's 21 they're paying 6, so I'm just gonna, no, I'll take them. Okay, so that's a singular person. Make sure you don't pick up any singular people. Okay, so that's that board finished. Or if you truly want to, you can only put yourself through 4 boards. You're still going to make money. Okay, so set yourself up a private group if you haven't done that as well. It's an extra board. And so, you know, as I said before, people say, oh well, you shouldn't log in and out, but it's stupid not to. You're robbing yourself, if anything else. So this is the private board. We'll see what we get on here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do I'll give you the full price before I disembark. Okay, so we got 12 refugees on this board. And you can see I'm not allied, I'm not in a good position with any of the factions yet, but I am filling the ship up quite nicely. And I've only done, this will be, now when I go back into solo, that'll be my first round of the boards. All the other places I've been, you have to board hop for a long time to get it full, and it just didn't feel right. Then when I thought, right, I'll give myself a disembark time, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, so, you know, like I say, If you don't want to board hop a lot, just do one sweep of the boards, solo, open, private, and then go. You're still going to make yourself some money. You're still going to make some money. I gone into the missions. Force of habit. Actually, I'll take her because she's got a lot of money, and I can stick her in that cabin, so that's a good one. Okay, just to get this thing on the road, I'm gonna take Blythe Dudley as well. Okay, so he's gonna take up one of my last cabins. So you can see it's a two-person, but it's gonna take up a whole cabin. And if there's one other, I'm gonna do. Okay, so bearing in mind that I've done one circuit of the boards, just so you're not sat here watching me do a ton of circuits. Target panel. Okay, so what? 5 minutes, something like that. Target panel, and you'll see. So this is going to be a basic roundup, but I'll do my best. Okay, 1.2, 5.7, 9.9, 15, 19, 23, 29.5, maybe about 30, no, 29.5, 39.5, so 40, add that on, 40 for sure, 43.5, 43, 44, 45, and the last one 46, 47, so but that's about 47 million. Okay, so, and that was one run of the boards. So I went solo, open, solo, open, solo, private, solo. Okay, took about 5 minutes. Close. So now we're gonna set off, and this is gonna take all these mission critical reports. You don't really have to pay attention to. Sometimes the person will complain, but as long as you're getting there on time, they're not going to complain too much, and you're not going to have too many problems. So this is where I cross my fingers, because getting this anaconda out of this mailbox is absolutely terrible. I want to be a bit higher. Okay, let's take that. Landing gear.
Landing gear retracted.
Hard points. Boost. I don't know why my hard points. Why is it doing this today? Hard points. Okay, thank you. Okay. So, we're out the ship. Boost. Target panel. Target panel. So we're going to set it up in the galaxy map, which I should have actually done inside, but never mind. Boost. boost. Engage frame shift.
Frame shift drive charging. Four, three, two, one. Engage.
Okay, now this is a bit of a beast when it gets to the sun you to do a turn, but okay, target panel. So I should have gone into the close. I should have actually gone into the system map when I went into the galaxy map, but I was eager to get away and not going through my regular procedures. Because you can see my name's Coconut Airways, I generally try to fly it like you would an airplane. So we have everything from in-flight announcements as we go. And so, as you can see, the distance to Sevastanyov station is 480,000 light seconds. Now, before you spit your coffee all over the screen, it is a big distance. It's a huge distance. There's no denying it. As you can see at the moment, it says 8 hours 40 minutes. Of course, that's going up at the moment, but it will come down. It'll come down drastically. Comms panel. So as I said, you're probably going to have somebody coming after you. This normally tells you when you have, so all of these, no, it hasn't actually, but any changes in destination, just ignore them. They are an option. They were added by Frontier to give you just extra bits of money as you go along, but they are optional. Because we're a low-cost space flight, we're like EasyJet. We're not going to change direction for you. Close.
Incoming mission critical message.
So, you know, you're going to get interdicted on this flight. Absolutely 100% for sure. That's going to happen. I can guarantee it. But as I said, it's... Now you can see the time is coming down. It's down to 2 hours. It should, if you're in an Anaconda, you should be doing this run in 15 minutes. It shouldn't take you much longer than that. So what you can do, as a tip to get over the boredom of that, is if you put your screen in borderless, you can actually tab in VLC Media Player or whatever, or a web tab. An internet tab, sorry, and you can watch a video on YouTube or whatever while you're doing it. What you want to do is minimize that window, just so that if you are interdicted at any point, it's one click. It's a one click on the Elite Dangerous video, so I generally have it, like, if you look at, oh, you can't see my mouse, but I generally have it in the top left hand side of the screen where the comms panel is. And I'll have it about halfway down the screen, and then as soon as the interdiction starts, you can click out of it. So, you know, there's not really a lot for me to say in this video now until I arrive. So, let's see if I can find a bit of music or something. You might have heard me saying things like comms panel, and then normally, but it's not now because it's showing off. Comms panel, you'll see it opens up. I'm using a program called VoiceBot, which is free, and I think you get three profiles that you can use. So I use it for Elite Dangerous and Euro Truck Simulator. So you can see eliminate enemies. That means that somebody's going to be trying to interdict me. They normally close. They normally do it as you're approaching. As you're approaching the station. And don't expect an easy one. I think there was one flight where I got interdicted like 3 times in a row. Just know it's going to happen, and then you'll be prepared for it when it does. So you can see now, although it looks like we haven't gone very far, I think we've done something like 50,000 light seconds or something. What we are doing is, if you look on the big circle and you look at the speed at the side, where it's like in the 415, that's going to keep going up, and that goes right up above 1,000. And that's more of the indicator of how close you are to the planet, rather than the light seconds trickling down. Because it goes up, it goes just past 1,000, I think, to 1,006, 1,007, and then it starts automatically reducing again. So that's a pretty good idea of how much further you have to go. I mean, you notice I started talking not so long ago and it was like 450, and now we're already on 422. And of course, it's going to keep coming down. It's going to keep coming down, and while we actually speed up towards the object. If you're not sure, if you don't know how the physics of the game work, they work basically on the principles of regular physics, if they were applied in space. So, you know, obviously the further away you get from a mass, the faster you'll become, and then you actually use the other mass to drag you towards it. And as you approach that mass, you get slower. So it's like, now you can see it's down to 395 now, and it's almost ticking down in seconds. Whereas before it was going super slow, now it's ticking down pretty nicely. So we should be there pretty soon. As I've said before, like, some people don't like board hopping. They think that it's wrong, and if you think it's wrong, then don't do it. Just pick up the few passengers you've got on the board. At least do a board hop into open and private. So go solo, open, private, and then go back to solo. Or if you want to stay in open, do open, private, solo, and then back into open. But at least do one round of the boards. Frontier Developments have said it's a perfectly acceptable way of playing the game. They've, you know, they have. I hope that isn't ominous music for me. They've basically said, yeah, well, we kind of programmed it that way, and we know that people will be doing it, so we put measures in place so that people can't necessarily cheese the boards. As I've said, I've done it in other places where I've been waiting a long time. I mean a long time, board hopping, anywhere up to 40 minutes. And then I thought, you know what, this doesn't feel right. So I went around 5 or 6 other places looking for those 2 elements: a quick drop-in to one station, which is a station where you collect the missions, and then a nearby system where there was somewhere between 400 and 600 light seconds, or more if it was possible. And this place, LTT 2684, yeah, LTT 2684. This is the first place I've found that seemed to give constant missions. They're part of the regular service by the looks of it, and now that they're in a civil war, which will probably break down into war pretty soon anyway, means that the missions have basically changed from business people and from tourism to refugees. I'm pretty sure those missions were consistent before, and I'm pretty sure they'll be consistent afterwards, simply because they're two very close places, two places in very close proximity. So the game pays you on distance. Now, the passenger missions are the new way of cheesing money out of the game, if you want to say it that way. And I think I'm earning too much from doing this for what I'm doing. I think the payouts are too big. However, what Frontier Developments have done recently is they've lowered some of the other passenger missions. So ones that require you to fly, I don't know, 4,000 light years or whatever, scanning a beacon in 3 different systems and then coming back, these prices have lowered to a point where they're completely insignificant. Completely insignificant. It wouldn't even be worth your while doing it. Unless, you can see target vessel located, move into interdict, so because I'm only 3 minutes away from the target now, so you know, like I said, that the time would pass. You can see the speed is coming back down now, so normally this happens when you're arriving at the station. So yeah, they've really lowered those long distance ones, and I just don't get why. Those things were I've done 1 or 2 of them and I really enjoyed it. It's so time consuming, and I didn't think the payouts were big enough, if I'm totally honest with you. Something might take me, I don't know, one mission took me like 2 days, I think, but I think 2 6-hour periods. 2 6-hour periods of playing, and I was just really surprised that you know, putting all that time in, I think that time I earned, I can't remember, 32 million or something for this mission, and now that mission's probably worth about 4. So I really don't understand that move by Frontier, especially as now you can kind of cheese some passenger missions. But as I said, this is my plane. I've kitted it out for this type of flight, and my ship, I've kitted it out for this type of flight, so that's what I'm doing. Passengers, and this really has actually allowed me to grow my spending pool, pretty much to the point now where I could buy every ship there is. I don't know if I could fully kit them out, but I can definitely buy every ship there is, and it gives you a bit more freedom. It means that, you know, one day, if I fancy flying the Anaconda and going out and making a bit of money, I could do that. Or if I just fancy taking one of those people for next to nothing, I can offset that against what the money I've made here. So for me, I think it's a perfect mix. And you know, it is, this type of passenger mission is in that kind of the heart of the Elite game. I don't remember having passenger missions when I originally played it, but you know, banging backwards and forwards, trying to make your money. Yeah, but for all the time I've been playing this, I've just never felt like I'm making money that I deserve for the work I was putting in. The only time I truly did when I was doing the Road to Riches at the very beginning. Well, I say at the very beginning, I actually did it halfway through my career when I wasn't. I was getting disillusioned about not making money. So, we're coming in to Severstanyov station. So if you'd like to return your seats and tables to their upright and locked position, no need to fasten your belts. This is a station, not a planetary orbit. we'll have you on the ground in no time. After we've beaten this interdiction. So I'm arriving now. I'm about 1 minute away. Well, 1 minute and a half, 2 minutes. And you'll be sat there now saying, come on, let's get there. Let's beat this interdiction. The interdiction is going to happen. Okay? The way they've got it wrong in the game is the guys are generally chasing you because they find your wake and they're chasing you to where you are now. But they always seem to interdict you just as you're arriving at your location. So I always pretend that they're sat waiting there. Maybe this music's a bit apt. This. So you're gonna get interdicted. I think there was one flight, maybe I made without an interdiction, but that might have been a return flight, I can't remember. So the interdiction normally commences when you're down in the hundreds. So we're like 17,000 now. So. The trick when the interdiction is you don't want to overshoot the station. So what you want to do is you pull your throttle back to about halfway as you fight the interdiction. Don't pull it back fully because then you'll give in to the interdiction and you're in the hands of the enemy. You want to just pull it back. And the reason you want to do that is because you can still fight the interdiction, but you're not going to go, I don't know, 6,000 light seconds past the station, because when you do that they sometimes interdict you again. And believe me, there was once 3 times in a row which really tested my patience. So in the distance there you can see the California Nebula, which I visited earlier in one of my videos. You can have a quick look at that if you want. That's the red patch just off to the right, of Severstaniov Station. It was spectacular close up. Looked amazing. I did it in 37 jumps, but not in my Anaconda, in my Explorer, which is smaller, more nimble, but has a great jump range. Okay, so like I said before, you'll be getting excited now thinking, well, we're only 2,000 seconds out and he hasn't interdicted me yet. Believe me, like a Ryanair flight, that's never late. Might be late taking off, it's never late landing. So I was saying before, I wanted to switch to see how long the video's been running for, but I estimate it's been running about 40 minutes. I haven't got a clock or anything, but it just feels like that. And I did a lot of explanation at the beginning, so and the run back is much shorter. So I think that really, if you put a good few hours into this, you could be making a lot of money very quickly. 14, 13, 12. Just gonna pull back on the old flight stick a little bit, so we don't overrun the planet. I'd love for it. There you go. That train's never late. Okay, so. The reason I laughed there is because I thought, well, you know, it's going to prove me wrong, and actually, so it's a good job I actually pulled her back on the throttle already. I might get a double interdiction here. I don't know why I feel it, but I just feel it. So we're like 190 light seconds out. It's because I have another message that I haven't read yet, and I just have a feeling that that's another interdiction, but maybe it isn't. Okay, so we're closing on the station. Comms panel. Stop. Sorry, close. Close. Okay, so as we're coming into port, stop frame shift. Stop frame shift. Thank you.
Incoming mission critical message.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived at Svesanyov station. We'll be making an auto dock because this is a big hunk of steel that I'm not getting through that pillbox. Target panel. Close. I'll get it out the pillbox. I'm not getting it in. Comms panel.
Acknowledged, Commander. Clear for assisted docking.
Close. I've never actually watched it dock from this view, so I just thought it'd be quite interesting. Wait. Don't know where my ship's gone. Okay, here we go. I'm going from underneath it. Okay, that's interesting. This thing is just an absolute behemoth. It's unbelievable. You managed to get a lot more leeway than I got. Just landing pad away on here. Okay, and we're in the station, so we're going to enter the hangar.
Incoming message.
Why is that? I don't know why that one's failed, but it doesn't matter. It was only a million credits or something. Lights. Comms panel. I've no idea why that failed at all. Is it because I refused it? You managed to get me here without getting me killed. You had your chance to take me to the nearest station. I don't understand what that was about. I'm guessing because the ship was scanned or something. I didn't read it properly, but whatever. Close. So we're going to go to Starport Services, and just so you know, just did a quick look there. I've been streaming for 43 minutes, but I did the explanation at the beginning. So I think the explanation was probably about 12 minutes, so I don't know, maybe half an hour. We're here in the station and we're disembarking the passengers. So you're going to have two things here. So you're going to disembark your passengers. And the first ones are going to be alright until you get that message. Cargo hold at maximum capacity. So what you want to do now is you keep everyone that's listed here. You keep handing them in. Okay, so you're going to keep handing all these in. Now once you've handed all these in, don't make this mistake. Look, oh, okay, everybody's disembarked. No, they're not. You need to go into your commodities market, find the cargo slot which is full, which is that one, nano breakers. Go sell them. Now go back to your passenger lounge, and you will notice there's still passengers to disembark. So we've got these two, and all of these are going to give you something. Okay, so each time you disembark, you need to go find whatever they've given you, sell it, or you can dump it. I sell it because it pays for your fuel. Okay, so you just keep doing that. Two more. I don't think that last one's actually going to give me anything because he was annoyed. Oh no, he did. Nice one. Okay, and last but not least, we have the medical professionals. That was because I was saying something it recognized as a request. Okay, so there we go. So yeah, there you go. Basically, what did I say? 47 million? Then that guy jettisoned, so that'll be a million off. So it's about 46 million in one run, which took about 30 minutes. Now I'll make a jump back and I can do it all again. So there you go. Galaxy map. Those are your two places. LTT 2684 is your starting point at Parson Station. Okay. And then your finishing mission is Sevastanyov Station in I forgot the name, Namorodo. So if you're in need of money, that's the road to go down. As I said, I've made 46 million, but when I started with the Dolphin, I think I was making 26, and then when I moved up to the Beluga, I think I was making 36, 38, something like that, and then I got this one, and now I'm making 47. So that's the way to make money. If you are new and you haven't got much money and you haven't got much rep, go back to my other previous video and you'll be able to see how to do it in another way, or how to get there to this point, at least anyway. So I hope you've enjoyed the stream. I hope it wasn't too boring, because it was quite a long one, but yeah, if I come across any other missions like this, I'll be posting them up, so be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.